Yeah, man, it's you know, like I said, this is new to me.
I've been to so many owning a clothing line meetings, bro. I mean, he's a legitimate celebrity, and then he wants to come in and he wants to co-own the brand with you.
Yes, sir. The way I feel like it is like I have like the puzzle.
Uh-huh.
I'm just trying to figure out how to put them together, you know? I'm like, damn.
Okay, well, so let me start by saying you've built a property and a brand that he's super interested in, so kudos to you. Like, that's a big up for all of the hard work that you put in, and it's amazing. Like, a ton of brands will never get to the point where a celebrity is willing to cut a check. One huge opportunity for you, because I know it's a struggle. Even if you had some sort of funding, that's gonna be a struggle no matter who you are, right? I literally sold a house for my first brand and it didn't make it through that time. Is it gonna play out in a perfect way? Probably not. Just from what you told me right now, I see quite a few different challenges. That's gonna be tough, man. So what we are talking about, the things that had happened before with him and the group and everything, and I think that's going to be, I could see where it could be compromising for the way you're positioning the brand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To definitely slap his name on it. It sounds like he has ideas. For him creatively, because he's an artist just like you are, I mean, he's thinking of this like his clay too. So he could be, exactly. There's so many directions that he could take it. Like, I don't know what he wears. Maybe he's a Givenchy guy. Anywhere between Yves Saint Laurent and like, one, he's gonna definitely have a different vision than you. I mean, I definitely don't see him like just dropping money off and going, okay, yeah, do your thing. For success to happen, to let's define some success. The best way to move forward is for you guys to have conversation, and you guys are gonna have to ask really tough questions.
Yeah.
So I'm going through possibly partnering with a brand that exists right now. To me, I think I told you before, but the analogy of partnering in a brand is like getting married. So the brand I'm talking to has two owners. I've literally spent time just hanging out with them. Like, if we're gonna be in the trenches of war, I wanna know that we align with some of the same values, at least as it pertains to business. Now, you're not gonna be able to just jump on tour with this artist who has a crazy life, but you guys would go as far as like writing down questions, and I can help you through that. Like, just because there's gonna be questions that you're not gonna think of that are gonna be super important. But like, just getting real nitty gritty, because everything in the beginning is gonna be real nice, but you're gonna have your vision, and I guarantee you he has a completely different vision where you're not gonna like.
Sure, man, I'm sure of that. Especially with partnerships, man, I mean, things always, like you said, things are nice at the beginning, and sure enough, man, like things, you know, end up, when it hits the fan, things change.
So before questions you ask the artist, you're gonna ask some tough questions for yourself. Like, what is your end game with this? What do you really want out of it? And I understand that it's your baby. It's sort of like Shark Tank, where it's like, okay, what happens though if you pass up on this? What does that future road kind of look like? Because it's gonna be tough. The other side of the coin though is, in order to really look at this opportunity and say, how do I maximize this opportunity? Both of you have to be happy as co-owners.
Yeah.
You asking a question to him like, how do you imagine rolling out marketing for the brand? Because if you want him to be silent, he might say something completely different, like, oh, I'm gonna do a press release, I'm gonna do this and that, I'm gonna get all the boys to wear it. When he says partnership, just getting very specific, like ask him what specifically does that mean? You're going to cut a check? Am I getting a check? Also, if you want to back up before that, I don't know if this is on the table for you, but is it on the table for him to just purchase the brand from you, and then he can do whatever he wants and fund it with his own people? If that does become part of the conversation, you have to have an evaluation for the company.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't just say like $8 million. I mean, I don't know, I'm just talking, Martin, but maybe there's an amount where you're willing to part with it and say, hey, why don't you take this money, or why don't you cut me this check? You'll own it, and then I want you to hire me for 2 years at this salary to provide graphics and support for you.
Okay.
So that's an idea. before you get it into any place where you guys maybe start offending each other, or like, because I just think you have a different idea of how you want to roll out the company. Would you think of purchasing the company, sign a contract where you purchase it? I want to get paid 80 grand a year for 2 years.
Shit. Is it really that much money in the streetwear, bro?
Yeah, I mean, just say I want to be the creative or the art director. I mean, the title almost doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The thing I like about this scenario is, one, there's money in the bank, and number two, you get some sort of income. But can he stop paying? Yeah, but at least you have that check up front. A lot of people can't do that because they're like, this is my baby. So if you ride with it, then just know it's going to be more of the same path you've been on. If I was in that conversation, so for example, with the guys I'm talking to now, they were searching for funding before we started having conversations. So they're looking for 60 grand. And I was like, what would you do with the 60 grand? Boom, they hit me with a business plan, and is pretty organized and relatively detailed. So when I started asking, like, tell me about this ad spend, how much of this is Facebook, how much is Instagram, what are the keywords that you're targeting, what is the acquisition of possible marketing space, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tangibly, like how many Instagram subscribers or followers, and etc, etc, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah. You should get together some really, really thoughtful questions. And what is your vision? How would you change the brand? You know what I'm saying? And just let him go. Let him go for a while. You start saying, well, this was my vision. And like, you know, of course, I would want us to meet in the middle.
Yeah, man, that's the thing that, like, I think I understand streetwear, how they are attracted to it, and his history. It won't be appealing to a consumer. I feel like people want a struggle from a brand, like a story behind it. I'm not gonna buy let's say a graffiti T-shirt from like Tilly's, when they have like this fonts they found online, compared to a like Tribal that they've worked their ass off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel about it. Yeah, there's a lot to think about.
Or maybe here's another thing. You say, hey, why don't you be partners with me, but not necessarily with this brand? What if you help me fund this brand by working with me, and then I help with my aesthetic? I create you a new brand.
Okay.
And then I'll give you the same kind of edge, but I want to keep going in the direction with addiction, but I'll help you carve out a look that has hints of addiction, but it'll be your brand, and give me a small piece of that, and then you can continue to, you can have a piece of this brand as a silent owner, and then I'll have a piece of the new brand, but I'll help you carve it A to Z.
Okay, I feel you on that. That's good, man. I didn't think of all those options.
Oh, bro. Yeah. It's my life, man.
And it's just, life factors, bro. Like, it's like stuff that I was going through, and I had to take a little break from it. It's a long road, bro. It's a long.
Hey, I'm the last person you gotta tell, bro. I've seen it all.
Yeah, man. It's tough.
You guys have to have a meeting of the minds way before you guys start carving out a contract, because he has a contract. You should have a lawyer. Then your lawyer fires back and go, hey, we're uncomfortable with this, and get it to a point where it looks good. I mean, that part alone is gonna take some back and forth.
Yeah, man, that's true, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, it's a little bit nerve-wracking, bro. I mean, like I said, yeah, it's gonna be a new beginning. Like, I literally had to cut out everybody that was on my team. I didn't see they didn't have the same dedication. I
do think you guys are gonna have some fundamental differences. So I think a smart thing for you to do is just think of what your exit strategy and all of this is. Would you part with the brand? How much would that look like? Is there still a way where you guys can work together? Was that helpful?
Yeah, man, you're very helpful, brother. Thank you, man. I really appreciate you, brother.
Okay.
Have a good day, man.
All right, my man. I'll talk to you soon.